Hey guys, the Black Critic Guy, and sadly, we have now reached that time of the year again. The end of summer. Yep. Really sucks, doesn't it? And you know what? It went by so damn fast as well. It felt like it was just May yesterday, and now here we are at the end of August. Where the hell did the time go? And now we gotta go back to work or go back to school and study for bullshit exams that we don't care for and talk to people that we could give a shit about, going through the same motions over and over again for a whole nother year. But with summer drawing to a close, that also means you get some new videos from me, the Black Critic Guy, on my top 10 favorite summer movies of 2014 and my top 10 worst or most disappointing summer movies of 2014. And as you all know, I like to start off on a bad note. Well, normally I like to start off on a good note, but in this case, I want to end off on a good note because bullshit month, guys. Bullshit month. That's all I gotta say. Anyway, to kick off the top 10s I'm gonna do for the end of the summer, I present my top 10 most disappointing summer movies of 2014. These are the films that I saw this summer that just did not impress me at all, and I found really boring, forgettable, and some of them pure shit. In fact, the top 4 films on this list did not only disappoint me greatly, but also pissed me the fuck off at how god-awful, horrendous, and straight up boring they were. They are without a doubt the worst films I saw this summer. And not to sound like a broken record here, but just keep in mind that these are just my personal opinions of the films that I did not enjoy seeing this summer. You may agree with me, you may outright disagree with me, or you might be in the middle. Just have respect for my opinions, and I will have respect for yours. Get it? Got it? Good. But enough wasting time. Let's get to the list, starting off with my number 10 choice, Lucy. This film was shaping up to be pretty damn awesome. The trailers looked really cool and interesting. It stars Scarlett Johansson and Morgan Freeman, and it has this whole action sci-fi element to it that really drew me in. It looked like it was gonna be a really fun and entertaining film. Instead, what it turned out to be was a really uninteresting and daunting, existential, philosophical film that tried so hard to be just like 2001: A Space Odyssey. And not only is the story boring, but it's also based on a misguided notion that humans only use 10% of their brains, which is complete bullshit. It's been disproven. Lucy was a film that tried to be so deep, but instead turned out to be very superficial. Coming together, or should I say blending together, is my number 9 choice, Blended. This was Adam Sandler's poor attempt to bring back an audience by re-teaming with Drew Barrymore for the 3rd time, but unlike their previous endeavors, The Wedding Singer and 50 First Dates, this film had no heart, no charm, and a huge lack of humor. With the exception of Terry Crew, his Jerry Curl, and his African band, all the other characters were either really forgettable, really bland, really annoying, or straight up creepy. Especially Drew Barrymore's older son in the film. I mean, I worry about that kid. I think that kid needs help. Blended is proof positive that not only has the audience lost faith in Adam Sandler films, but that 3 times is not the charm. Repeating the same day over and over again and failing each time to impress is my number 8 choice, Edge of Tomorrow. Now, I got a lot of hate on my review for this film. A lot of people were stunned and baffled that I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. People were like, what are you talking about, Tony? This is one of the best summer films of the year. You must be high or something. Go watch it again. And although I did mention in my review that it's not a terrible movie, I just had a really hard time being invested in what was going on or even caring about any of the characters because they never really develop any of them and the story isn't that interesting to me. Now, the film does have a few saving graces, like the action scenes were really fun to watch and Tom Cruise did a really good job in the film. But other than that, this film just felt like source code without the heart, without the soul, and it just felt like they were rushing through the story and rushing through the characters characters that it wasn't a fully realized movie in my opinion. Edge of Tomorrow, you can live, die, but don't repeat. Number 7 is Tammy. What is there to say about the movie Tammy? Not much. It's a really forgettable film. In fact, I forgot a majority of this film. All I really remember is that there was a lesbian 4th of July party and that Kathy Bates and Susan Sarandon were in the movie for a few minutes. And that's pretty much it. Everything else, totally forgot about it. And it commits the biggest atrocity that a comedy film could ever commit. It's not funny. It's not funny. And that's all that needs to be said. Cleansing our soul in the number 6 spot is The Purge: Anarchy. Although it did fix a couple problems that I had with the first film, it also carried on many of the problems that I had in the first film. The characters, besides one of them, were really annoying, really forgettable, and I didn't give a shit about them. Any one of them could have dropped dead at any moment, and I would have been like, thank God I don't have to see that character again. But what really puts The Purge: Anarchy on this list is how it continuously misses opportunities to tell interesting stories that happen in The Purge. I mean, you don't have to have all the characters team up together to survive The Purge. You could tell The Purge from different perspectives in different places in the United States. Why does it always have to be one location the whole time with a bunch of characters? It's just a wasted opportunity, and they continue to do that. The concept alone is interesting. Expand on that. Take a chance. Stop playing it safe. That's what really bogs The Purge: Anarchy down. Coming in at a rowdy number 5, A Million Ways to Die in the West. Dear Seth MacFarlane, ranting all the time in your comedy western spoof does not equate to comedy gold. It may work on Family Guy, it may work on YouTube, but those are really short. Family Guy is about 30 minutes long, and the average YouTube rant can range about 10 to 15 minutes long. But in an hour and 45 minute long movie, it stops being funny after the first minute. Not the first time, the first minute. It just came off as pestering and annoying and just a sad and desperate attempt to get a laugh from the audience who stopped laughing a few minutes ago at the start of your rant. Also, Mr. MacFarlane, you need to take some time to really flesh out and develop your characters to make them interesting and likable. And also, you need to have a clear direction of where you would like to take your film. Do you want to make it a serious Western? Do you want to make it a Western that's both serious and has a few comedic moments? Or do you want it to be an all-out spoof of Western films? You need to know what you want to do with your film. And once you tweak all those problems, you got yourself a solid film there, partner. Sincerely, Tony Watley II, the Black Critic Guy. P.S. Don't ever put yourself in the lead role ever again. You're not good. You're not convincing. Don't do it. And now we get into the nitty gritty, guys. The top 4 films on the list, which I mentioned earlier, are the worst films I saw this summer. Kicking it off at number 4, we got Earth to Echo. What else do I need to say about this film that I did not already mention in my review? It's a blatant ripoff of E.T. It lacks the charm, wit, and heart that E.T. had. The characters are either really annoying, forgettable, bland, one-dimensional, you just don't give a shit about them. The story, as I said, it's a ripoff, and it uses the excuse that because it's a kid's film, they could just do whatever they want with the story. It's okay, it's gonna pass because it's a kid's film, which I don't accept whatsoever. If you want to make a good film, regardless of whether it's for kids or for the entire family, make a good film. Put some effort into your work. Just because it's for kids doesn't mean you don't have to put effort into it, guys. And I will not forgive lazy work. And that is why Earth to Echo is number 4. Is my number 3 choice, The Expendables 3. Now I ranted in great detail in my review for this film. And if you'd like to see that video in all of its raging glory, you could click the link right here and it'll send you straight to that review/rant. But to sum it all up, it was just really boring. It really needs to die. We are past the nostalgia realm, guys. It's getting a bit desperate now, and by the look of the returns at the box office, it's very clear nobody wants to see any more Expendables, myself included. If this is the best that they could do, end it. We don't need another one, unless you could step your game up for a fourth one, which I seriously doubt. Don't make another Expendables. End it now. And Kellen Lutz, fuck you! Oh, would you look at that? The number 2 spot goes to a film that I saw on the exact same weekend as I saw The Expendables 3. Lucky me! And that film was Let's Be Cops. How about Let's Not Be Cops? Shout out to this subscriber right here for pointing that out in my review, that I missed the opportunity to say that line. I redeemed myself here in the top 10 most disappointing list. So shout out to you and thank you for pointing that out. I feel like I'm about to repeat myself when explaining what I didn't like about Let's Be Cops, because many of the things that I didn't like about Let's Be Cops are also featured in all the other films that I mentioned thus far. Weak jokes, forgettable and annoying characters, weak story, yada yada yada, you've heard it all before. It's just not a fun movie. What else needs to be said? And now here we are at number 1, and I'm pretty damn sure you all know who number 1 is. It's clear as day. There was no competition. There was no equal. This is without a doubt not only the worst film to come out this summer, but probably one of the worst films to come out this year, 2014. And that film is Sex Tape. Just saying the name gives me flashbacks to that film. The creepy shit that I saw. And I will never forget them. Not only was this film really forgettable, not funny, the characters annoying, but it gave me something I never wanted to see in my entire life. And that is a Jason Segel sex tape. I don't care how skinny you get, Jason Segel. I don't care that I did see your penis in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. I never want to see you do a sex tape. It's not funny. It's disgusting. Never do it again. If you do it again, I will fucking find you. And I will do things to you that you will never forget. I will make you feel what I felt watching Sex Tape. Mark my words. And that is why Sex Tape is the number 1 most disappointing and worst summer movie of 2014. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my list of the top 10 most disappointing summer movies to come out in 2014. And I would like to know what you guys thought about this list. Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? Did you feel like I left any films out that you saw this summer that you really hated? And let me know what was the worst film that you saw in summer 2014. Comment below and let me know. And by the way, I'm doing this really special video on We Live Film where I'm actually asking you guys, the audience, whether or not you loved or hated summer 2014. And you can put comments here in this video as well, but I would also appreciate it if you go to We Live Film, check out my top 5 best summer movies video there, and put in there what you loved or what you hated about summer 2014. It will be featured in an upcoming video there at We Live Film. But until then, guys, stay tuned. I will be doing a top 10 best summer films of 2014, which you might already know what the top 5 are because I already did one. But regardless, I'm doing one for this channel. So until then, guys, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Black Critic Guy. Like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Wilder II, the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube.